What up, everyone? September Ali, the Reverend of the Revolution. Welcome to your Daily Revolution. Today's topic: do you really have to struggle? Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Oh, you gotta love social media. I love social media. There's a time and a place when it really serves me, then there's a time and a place when it doesn't. And there's this common message being preached today. It was a message that it was preached to me when I was young, which is this: work hard. And if you're willing to work hard, and if you're willing to do the work, and if you're willing to outwork and outgrind and out-hustle everyone, you can have the life that they won't have, right? You see a lot of these themes on Instagram and Facebook, on YouTube. Be willing to do what others won't so that you can have what others will never have. Something like that. And I just want you to know that's a good message. Like, it's a really good message. There's times where I live by that. There's a time and a place to grind. There's a time and a place to hustle. There's a time and a place to outwork people. You know, Will Smith had this video that just went viral just a dozen years ago, where he's like, there's one or two things that's going to happen. If you and I get on a treadmill, like, either you going to get out first or I'm going to die. And, you know, that mentality is amazing. It really serves us human beings at a special time and a special place. Like, there's a time and a place for that mentality. And for me, there's been a few times in my life where it's really served me. Number one, football. All right, when you play football or sports or basketball, like, the hustle can really level the playing field. Like hustling, like grinding, like effort. You see this in basketball where a guy just, he's not as talented, but man, that guy can hustle and grind like nobody's business, like nobody else. And it's amazing to see that, because that's inspiring for us to watch a guy do this. It's the same thing in football. When I played football, I was not as fast and I was not as strong. There were guys who were faster, and there were guys who were stronger. I was definitely one of the quickest, and without a doubt, I was the hardest worker in the room. Like, that was my motto. That was my mantra. That's how I won. I will just outwork you. So that really served me in football. That got me to the NFL, got me to the Super Bowl, the Patriots and the Super Bowl. Another time that happened was in 2004. I was home. I was in the mortgage industry. I was broke. And I'm in this new industry. I don't know what I'm doing. You know, I don't know what loan origination and points and docs and title and approval and funding and underwriters. I'm learning all these new things. And I basically said, I'm going to do the same thing that I did in football. I'm going to go set goals. I'm going to work hard. I'm going to outwork people. I'm going to out-hustle people. And it served me well, right? Made my first 6 figures out of football. And then I just doubled and it just continued to grow and grow. And I did that in real estate. I did that in the hard money lending. I did that in speaking and coaching early back in 2007, 2008. And that served me well. I then hit the bottom and was bankrupt and sold my ring and sold everything and just was despondent and destitute and discouraged and depressed. And so then in 2011, another industry. It's called door-to-door sales. And again, I took the same mentality. I'm going to outwork you. And I would wake up at 6. I would study. I would learn. I would grind. I would hustle. I'd knock late. I'd knock early. I'd suck down Red Bulls. I was eating Ruffles, cheddar, cheese, and sour cream chips and drinking Red Bull every single day, to the point where 2 or 3 Red Bulls did nothing for me. But I grinded. I was hustling. And again, that served me. I came into the coaching space 5 years ago. And 5 years ago, I began to coach, and I did the same thing. I'm going to outwork you. I'm going to outgrind you. I'm going to work longer, harder. And see, that message today is a really good message. Like, in the context of where you're at, it can be one of the greatest messages ever preached. However, what got you here will not get you there. What got you here will keep you here. What got you here will prevent you from getting there. And what I mean by that is, if you are the person that feels like it's all about hustle and grind and hustle and grind. And that's the game. And I'm going to hustle and I'm going to grind. Just consider this. What if that mentality keeps you stuck? Like it serves you. Work harder than everyone else. But then there comes a point in your life where you just have to ask yourself some questions. Principle number 6, ask and receive. Is this really what I want? And September's at a point in his life where what I really want is to continue to be with my kids, is to continue to be with my wife, is to continue to invest these precious moments. Could I go fill my schedule up and be gone 60 to 80 hours a week? Absolutely. Because if it comes to grind, I can outwork anybody. Then I ask, is this really getting me what I want? And is there a point in time where it begins to have, they say, a diminishing return, right? The law of diminishing returns. You do something so much and then at a certain point, the returns diminish and it goes down. It's actually the opposite. And I bring this up because a lot of times today, right, you look at the Gary V's, the Grant Cardones. I've got some really good friends. That's their message. Grind some more and work harder and just work harder. And then someday life's going to be really good. And I just want you to consider, what if that belief is the actual belief that's keeping you stuck? What if you needed to have, as Stephen Covey calls it, another paradigm shift? So much we struggle. You see people say things like, the struggle is real. And I just laugh when I hear that. I'm like, no, it's not. Like, that's a choice to struggle. When I struggle, it's because I'm choosing that. It's because I'm believing a specific story, such as, I've got to grind and work and hustle hard and I've got to work 80 hours a week. Look, there is a time and a place for that. There is a time and a place to grind. And I will tell you, if you are young, in your teens, in your 20s, man, I'm not even afraid to say in your 30s, don't be afraid to grind. Don't be afraid of hard work. In fact, if you don't know how to work, it might really serve you. And if you want something more, see, I begin to look at people, and I have a mentor right now who's like, Satima, the thing that's keeping you where you are is just what you believe about the world. It has to be hard. I'm like, well, what do you mean? And he's like, Satima, the moment I gave up the story that I have to grind and struggle and I've got to work 80 hours a week, like the moment I gave that up, like money just continued to flow. And I pay coaches. I pay significant amounts of money to be coached because I want to be the best. I want to perform at the highest level. Like I really am committed to being a high performer, a winner, a champion. But if you think about this, what does that even mean? It means that I've created a story that in order to be significant, I've got to look a certain way. Right? I've got to be a certain way. And sometimes that's really useful, and sometimes it's not. So the purpose of my podcast today is just to have you consider, is what you are doing working? Is it really working? Is the way that you're living, is it working for you? Does it work? Does it give you what you want? And if it doesn't, then challenge the thoughts and beliefs that you have about the way that the world operates. Again, another individual who's just making an insane amount of money, and he's like, I wake up, I do some work, and then I go to the beach and I surf. Of course, my mind wants to challenge, but what? But, and he's like, Satima, just be willing to let go of what you believe to be true about money, about work. And it's hard to let go because I have been it is so ingrained in me. I have tattooed this thing on me. I have embedded it in my soul, like I will work hard. I even hear scriptures, by the sweat of thy brow, thou shalt labor and provide. And I just want you to consider possibilities. What if it did not have to be that way? What if there was another way? What if there's a time and a season to grind? What if there was a time and a place to like hustle? And then what if there was a time and a place where that actually was preventing you from leveling up, from moving up? So that's the message today, my brothers and sisters. Can you let go of the thoughts and beliefs that have got you here? Because what got you here will not get you there. What got you here will keep you here. What got you here will stop you and prevent you and block you from getting there. This is Satemangala reminding you, if you're going to create a life of real radical results, a life that you love, it's going to require you to get into a relentless pursuit with a ruthless commitment to pay the piper every single day, so that you can get to the top of your mountains where your prize, your promise signs, and possibilities are waiting, just waiting for you. The revolution has begun. Will you join me? I'm out. For more info on joining the revolution and living your greatest life of prosperity today, go to www.yourdailyrevolution.com and join us in waking up, turning your brain on, and prospering today.